I've got the dogs inside today, so Reg is checking out everything I'm doing. Meg's being a good girl, aren't you? You being a good girl, Meggie? Not getting in the way? So it's a horrible day outside. I think it's the last day of winter today, actually. I think it's the 30th. And yeah, we're a little bit bored because it's pouring with rain outside. You can't see, but so I thought we might plant some seeds. So these are some of the containers I've collected. This one was from the op shop. So that's what we call thrift stores here in Australia. And I think it cost me I think it was 50 cents or $1, but that's been washed and nice and clean now. So this is a fantastic one, nice and strong. Now, sometimes the local lolly shop actually has these big containers from their lollies. I think Reg can smell the lollies. It's been washed, Reg. It shouldn't smell like lollies anymore. Sometimes they actually have them for free out the front when they have finished using them. So this has been washed. It's got a nice strong lid as well. So the lid just fits on top. I think these cost me... Well, it was a packet of 3 for, I think they were on clearance in Spotlight for, I think $1 or something crazy. But they've actually got little clips, so they're quite small. So that'll be good for the seeds that I only have a couple of. Sometimes they have these in Coles or Woolworths for like half price, and because they're going to be used again and again and again, I have started getting strong ones because, like I said, yeah, it's great to reuse the containers from takeaway food, but they just don't last. So here's some more. These ones all come from Coles or Woolworths, and there's some lids in there. The rectangular ones I find are better than the round ones. These are great because they're not really high, because when you grow your seeds in there, before they get really big, you're going to be transplanting them. So they're nice and shallow, they're really strong, and they have a lid that fits really snugly. Some people might want to actually pour some boiling water into these to sterilize them. If you'd like to do that, please feel free to add that in as a step. It's time for a rest, apparently. So we just decided that that's way too much information for him. So he's just going to lie there and have a snooze. Is that right, Reg? You gonna have a snooze? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about soil next. This is the, what was that one? Pine Grow, I think it was called. Yes, Pine Grow. It's already starting off quite sandy, so I'm going to use that. And then I've got some of this coarse sand. I think this was from Bunnings. Sometimes they call it propagation sand. And so anything that is a coarse sand that's been washed, because you don't want salt in it, is fine. So garden supplies places that have coarse sand, so you don't want playground sand. So for a sand pit, that's really fine. You want a coarse sand, or even a really, really small gravel would be just as good. And I'm going to mix that half and half with this stuff here. So we've got some fresh dry, coarse sand. Now this is quite damp, which I don't mind because we're going to be wetting it anyway. The seeds need a nice moist environment to be able to germinate. So they need moisture, and they need warmth, and they need light. And so if it's moist to start with, that's okay. Anyway, let's take it inside and see if we can sow some seeds. So I've just got a tarp set up inside because it's so horrible outside. And we've brought everything in, so the seeds are already inside. Reg wants to dig in the sand. No, you can't dig in the sand. I'm sorry. I know that would be fun. All right, so we're going to put some of this sand and potting mix into some of the containers and get them all leveled off, and then probably moisten them up a little bit before we put the seeds in, I think. Now, there's lots of different ways to do this. Please don't feel like I am an expert. I am not. Not by any means. Never. Not an expert. Not a professional. This is just a hobby for me. But let's get some of these filled up and ready to, yeah, receive their seeds. I'm really excited. I can't wait. All right, so I've got myself all set up, ready to go. These are some plant labels. They're just plastic ones from Bunnings. It always amuses me that the brand name is Brunnings, but it's from Bunnings. Reggie is on quality inspection, so everywhere I go today, his nose is in the middle of everything. So what I'm planning on doing is with these big containers over here, so I filled them probably, they're probably a bit under halfway full. I wanted to give them enough sand and soil so that it doesn't dry out really fast, and so that the roots have got somewhere to go. But with these big containers, I'm planning on putting a few different types of seeds in them. So I'm going to write the name of the seeds and the date that I'm sowing them, and then I'll be putting them in sort of like that to break up the sections. So that's my plan. With some of them, I'm just going to write them. What I'm actually thinking of doing is writing a number on the lids of each of these with a Sharpie. So I've got some Sharpies over here, and I'm going to write a number, and then I've got a piece of paper that I'm going to record inside each of the so for each of the numbers and each of the containers, I'm going to write down what sort of seed is in there. I'll put the date on the top, of course, and where I got them from, if I know. Most of the seeds are probably from Oslithops. These are the ones that came in the last mail out, and I also wanted to plant my lovely free ones that were worth a lot of money that they sent me as a thank you present. So I want to plant those as well. They're going to be absolutely amazing. And so I've got some others here. Some of them I've collected, so like the Anacanceros ones. I've just got the seed pods and the seeds in there, so I'm thinking of planting some of those. These ones here are Fan Aloe seeds, and these were put in as a freebie from Bendigo Succulents when I ordered some plants from them a while back. What else have we got here? I'm not sure where these ones were from. They might have been from somebody on Facebook. So there are some Astrophyton seeds. I really can't wait for them to grow. I love Astrophytons, and they're so expensive to buy. So, and there's a, what's that one? Neobuxbaumia to Tetsu. Oh wow, they have some amazing names, don't they? I feel like that's a type of cactus, and so some of these seeds are a bit bigger. Anyway, let's moisten them first. So I've got a pressure sprayer here, just a small one, and this one's a Nilex one. I'm just going to moisten them down, make them fairly damp. I don't want water standing in the bottom of them. You just push it down till the pressure rises, and when the pressure's up, all you've got to do is push the button and it just keeps spraying. Yep, see, Reg is on quality control for this as well. I told you his little nose is everywhere. Everywhere, little nosy boy. All right, so that's got pressure now, I can feel it. And so then once it's all pressured up, you just push the button and hopefully it'll just, yep, spray everything. So I'm going to give them a decent spray, make them nice and damp, and then we'll add the seeds. I'll show you what I do with the first one. You don't need to watch me with all of them, but I'm going to give them a really good water. All right. Just realised that as I dampen these down, one thing I forgot to mention, some people put a liquid fungicide in their water when they're dampening these down, just to stop fungus and mold and stuff growing in there. Now, I bought some a while back and I have no idea where I put it, so I haven't done that. I haven't added. It's actually filter water. We have 2 filter jugs in the kitchen, and I've just put filtered water in there, so that's all I'm using today. But if you would like to add a fungicide, definitely do that. So I'm ready to sow the first lot of seeds. So what I've done, I've made just a list here, and I'm going to write a number on each of them. So this one's going to be number 4, and for each of the numbers, I'm going to write on there what it is. So I've written the date at the top, and so I'll keep this somewhere handy so that I can look it up. And I've also written, so that these are the free ones from Oslithops. I'm going to start with those first. But I've also written to put into there in case I lose that piece of paper. And look, I'll have the video too, which is good. But I've also written on here, sorry, it's not wanting to focus. So I've written the name of it there too. So Lithops salicola, Soto's violet, and I've written the date. Okay, so I'm going to put that. I'm going to put this in here, just down the side there. All right, so just so that I've got another label on there, just in case, like I said, I lose that, because I do lose things. And so we're going to sow some seeds now. So I'm going to get them organised. They're quite small seeds. Lithops seeds are really small. I don't know if you can even see them down the bottom there. But I've got a piece of paper that I'm going to put them on, so hopefully you can see them, and then I'm going to spread them hopefully really evenly on the moistened sand. So So this is one of the ones that just has sand. So this will be interesting to see how they go in here. Anyway, let's do that now. We're going to just put these on a piece of paper and sow them. So the Oslithop seeds come in this little paper envelope. And then there's also this tiny little printout with the name of the lithops on there. So what I have done in the past is to just sticky tape that so that it's, let's try again. Sticky tape that to the bottom or the side of the container. So that's probably a good way to go too if you don't feel like writing it out, but that's definitely another option. But here are the seeds. These are so tiny, like honestly, look at that. So they're tiny little seeds. So what I'm going to do, I've got a piece of paper which has a fold in it, and I'm just going to just very gently just shake them down and spread them. Now, I'm trying to do this with one hand so that you can see what's happening, but the best way to do it is actually with two hands and to just tap the paper and to just spread them out. I might do that actually. I don't think you need to see it, but all you have to do is to tap the end and just very gently spread them out. Now, if you want to, there's another method. If you've got the time and the patience, you can actually moisten the end of a toothpick and pick up each of these seeds individually and drop them onto the sand. That would be very fiddly, and I've got a lot of seeds. As you can see, like all of those containers have to be filled yet. So I'm definitely not going to be doing it that way. I'm just going to just spread them just by tapping the paper and spread them out as best I can. And then I'll show you the next step. So I'll do that now off camera because I need two hands for that. All right, so they've been spread out. You won't be able to see them because they're so tiny. They're smaller than the grains of the sand in here. Now, you can cover them with a thin layer of dry sand. I actually don't have any dry sand. I've only got damp sand, and I don't think that they need anything over them. I'm actually going to leave them just as they are, see how they go. So I guess the next step is to just put the lid on, and then you need to find a warm, bright place for them to go. So they won't be going outside because we are only just coming into spring now and we're still going to get some cool weather. So make sure the lid's on properly. I will check these in probably a couple of days just to see that I've put enough moisture in there. There should be condensation on the top. So after they warm up a little bit, hopefully there will actually be beads of water along the top, and that will show you that it's nice and moist in there. So anyway, we'll do an update. I'm going to plant up the rest of these seeds in the same manner, put the lids on, make sure I've recorded what's in each of them, and then I might actually show you what they look like after I've done them and tell you what's in them, and then we'll find a nice warm place for them where they can hopefully grow, hopefully germinate. So these are the fan aloe seeds. I think it's called Aloe plicatilus, I think, and they're huge. So I was planning to put them into one of these little green containers. So these were the free seeds from Bendigo Succulents, but I'm actually going to spread them across both of the small containers. So I've got two of these little green containers. So numbers 7 and 8 are the green containers. So I've written down here Fan Aloe Bendigo Succulents, and I'm just going to spread them across 7 and 8 because they're just so gigantic. Some of the other seeds have been almost the size of dust, but these ones are huge. So there's quite a few in there. So I'm going to put those into the little green containers. Okay, so I found a whole stack of seeds from Cactus Anonymous. So I'm going to plant some into the lolly container and some of the remaining 3 containers, and I'll show you what I've planted. So I've just planted this one up, and we have some Oslithop seeds. So the first group is Aloenopsis, and then we've got some lithops in the middle there, lithops bromfieldii, and then on the outside edge there we've got some Titanopsis. So we'll see how they go. I've got lots of seeds left over, so we'll have to have another seed sowing video at some stage. But this is a list that I've got that I'm going to put somewhere safe, which has all the things that I've planted. Each of the containers has a number on the lid, and I'm going to do a bit of a cleanup now and show you what happens next. So I'll find a nice warm sunny spot for them. Probably not sunny today, but hopefully when the rain passes we'll get some warmth and sun. So time to clean up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with them next. So they're all planted up, or well, not planted, I guess, sown. And I've got these 2 trays. One was from IKEA. Found it on the clearance trolley. I think it had a little split or something. And the other one I think I got for a couple of dollars in an op shop. But I've actually got, this is the sunniest window in the lounge room, and when it's a sunny day, unlike today, the sun comes in here for pretty much all the morning and some of the afternoon. And what I've done, I've put it here in a nice sunny position so it doesn't get direct sunlight, but it's quite warm in the lounge room. Like today I've got the heater on, and I've also put it, can you see down there? That's our gas central heating. And so I've actually put it above where that vent is. So at night when the gas heating comes on to keep us warm, that's going to actually keep the seeds warm overnight as well. So when I start to, might do an update in about a week or so and see if anything's germinating. I'm hoping we're going to get some more warmer days and as we come into spring. So Reg has to be in every video, doesn't he? Look at him. This, in fact, he looks like a little angel, doesn't he? He has just run through all of my seeds and everything that I had sitting here trying to plant them, and he ran through it all. He was doing zoomies. And so he's running back and forth and spread it everywhere. So it was an even bigger cleanup than what I was expecting. So let's just say don't let him fool you. He looks like a little angel, but he really isn't. All right, so I'm going to do an update probably about a week, see what's happening, see if they need any more moisture in there. And if I find my fungicide, I might actually even spray them with a little bit of that as well, just to make sure that we don't get anything nasty growing in there. So if you enjoyed this video, please do a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, how come? I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to upload some more videos very soon, and we'll do some updates on these as time goes by. We'll see you in the next video. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.